My name's Ataya Nessavier, and I do Torah precision coaching, which means people have patterns that are silently capping their relationships, their finances, their happiness. It's costing you happiness. And what I do is I use the most sophisticated system for human transformation ever created, which is the Torah. And I help people move from where they are and close the gap from where they are to where they want to be by clearly identifying the root of the issue and creating a plan to get you there. Say it again. What drew me to coaching? Well, I've been in the inner transformation field for the past 10 years. And the truth is, I have a background that comes from therapy. I'm completing my 4th year in psychotherapeutic training. And I've been in therapy. I've been around people in therapy for so many years. And what I found is that when you start therapy, you stay in therapy forever. And there's so many people that are in this world of therapy, but there's something so much deeper in life. And I believe that when you can clearly define your issue, you don't have to stay stuck for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You can clearly define it, clearly define a path forward and get there. And if I can just say one more line on that, I think a disservice has been done to Torah. I think that Torah has been something that people look at and poo-poo, but it's literally the most sophisticated model of consciousness, most sophisticated method for inner transformation ever created. And I want to bring that to people. I want people to be able to see that and feel that. Great question. I need to think about that for a second. I think the number one block that let's start with men. Hold on. Honestly, let's just go straight down to the core. The number one block that I think most people have is a deep sense of I am not enough in some way, in some capacity. There's something I want to achieve. And there's a deep, deep sense that, you know what? I'm just not enough for this. Life is overwhelming. Life is confusing. Life is scary. I want to achieve something in my business, but I'm not enough. So what does that cause? Well, it causes perhaps I go to the fridge and I take out food when I'm really trying to lose weight, but I'm just like so overwhelmed by things that are happening in life and I'm just not enough for life. So I go to the fridge and I start taking food and I can't break it. Or I get into relationships that are super destructive because I don't deeply feel that I'm valuable enough that I'm not willing to settle for this type of life anymore. So again and again and again, I'll attract the same type of destructive relationships and I don't realize what's happening because I haven't zeroed in on the core issue. So I think one of the core issues for both men and women, honestly, is a deep sense of I'm not enough for life and I'm not enough for whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish. Great question. Real change looks like, well, honestly, it depends on what it is. It depends on a clear metric in whatever area you're trying to break through. So if you're trying to start a business and you have fears that are stopping you from starting the business, clear metric of change is I've started the business. And even if I still have fears, it's not stopping me from living a life that I truly want to build. Relationships, I suddenly see myself showing up to my family and to my wife and to my children in a different way. And they've said, oh, you're different. And I've experienced that you're different. It looks like everything that we do is clearly rooted in a physical expression of that's measurable. Are you waking up in the morning? No, I want to wake up in the morning. 12 weeks later, I'm waking up in the morning. It's a very, very rooted transformation. It's a brilliant question. The Torah, especially the worlds of Kabbalah and Hasidut, have mapped human consciousness in a way that all the other modalities that you find, EMDR, IFS, NLP, all of these different modalities kind of come together in the map which Torah presents. So the way that Torah helps deal with that is that it helps a person, the Baal Shem Tov especially, has a 3-step process for elevating and for transforming all of the inner stuff that kind of overwhelm us and that we wish we could fix. And the Torah provides the mental framework to understand how to do that. And it just draws from anything you see in all of these other modalities you find in Torah. So whether that's completely shifting the imagery and the way that I perceive the block that's coming up or the situation that I want to be able to live in my life, I shift the entire imagery around it. And then I draw in a deeper sense of soul, a deeper sense of connection, of a place within me that's larger than the pain, that's larger than the fear. And then from that place of, wait a second, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm alive, I'm powerful. I can then come back to the fear and be like, what was this fear trying to give me in the first place? And not only what was it trying to give me, is the fear, or is the fear excitement? And you can completely shift and reintegrate those energies as a part of a much more whole approach and as a part of a person who's flying through life, because you are an infinite person with an infinite potential. And that's something that can be and should be expressed. My ideal client is people who feel like they're successful in life. They were building a business. They're achieving things in life. They feel like they're not, they're not under 50 years of trauma, perhaps. There's somebody who's an achiever, but an achiever who feels locked in that one area. You're an achiever and you want to be an achiever and you're really committed to growth, but you're really frustrated about this one area that you can't seem to break through. And specifically religious, more the religious crowd, but we're open. What? Great question. You can reach me through my website, TorahPrecisionCoaching.com. Or you can reach me on WhatsApp. You can reach me by email. My WhatsApp is 053-918-4738. Email Ataya, SN, ATAYA, SN @gmail.com. Okay. Thank you so much.